What is going on, guys, and welcome to HTML tutorial. In this video we're going to talk about HTML forms and more specifically of how to validate forms. First thing that I would want to show you though is how we can use a label element a little bit differently than I showed you in the previous video. So let's say that right now we would create a label, and that would be an opening tag, and you can see that I made a mistake. It needs to be label, and over here label also. And now within this label element we would actually write that, let's say, username, and over here colon, and over here I would write a input, and the type would be text, and let's say name would be again username, and I would close it over here. And you can see that this is how we were using the label before, right? So we click on it, and actually it right away highlights our input text field. Now there's actually a better way how to use the label, and it works like this: that I would cut this one and I would place it at the end of the actual name here, the username or whatever name we'll be using. However, in opening label tag I would use a for attribute over here, and the value for the for attribute would have to be the same value as we're using for the name. So over here I would use the username over here like this. So this is the proper way how to actually use the label, by connecting with a for attribute to connect to the text or whatever type of form you would want to connect it to the label. So this would be the proper way. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. And so this one I'm going to create a password, but let's do this. Let's, in between them, let's just create a line break. So in this case I'm just going to create password, and over here I'm going to create also password, and here also I'm going to create a password. So password like this. Now, and obviously we remember from the password as we were typing, but it shouldn't be hiding. But since I didn't change this to password, over here I would have to write password. And now as I go back in here, you can see that it's hiding the text I'm typing. Now there's a way in HTML how we can actually validate the form, and the way to do that, we would actually write required. That would be our attribute, and we would set it equal to required also. So now I go over here, and you can say, well, nothing happens, right? Well, let's do one thing. Let's create a input, and we're going to create this input as type, and we're going to set it equal to submit. So basically we're going to create a submit button, and the value I'm going to create also, I'm going to say submit over here like this, and then I close it out, and now I have submit button. And since we have created here this our test email where we are technically sending our data, let's try it out. So let's see over here, and let's say I'm gonna delete this. I'm just gonna write over here username, and it's gonna be Johnny. But see, when I'm trying to submit it, every time it jumps back and says please fill out this field. So I cannot submit this form or send it to our fake email because I have set this attribute, required attribute, to my password. So every time I'm trying to submit, you see it's not letting me to do that. So of course, if I want to set this attribute, add it to, let's say, to my username value, it would do the same thing. This is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next.